Oh, hello.
Goedemorgen.
Oh,
Goedemiddag, even I should say. Goedemiddag.
yes, hold on there. Yes, I'm sorry I'm running behind. Just trying to get into the room and people keep chatting to me on the way. I'm thinking, I've got to go, I've got to go.
That's all right, don't you
Sorry.
worry. How are you?
Yes, not doing too bad. Very, very busy week. How are
Good?
you doing?
Yeah, I'm all right. Same actually. I've been teaching since 8 o'clock this morning, well, not 8:30 this morning. So yeah, just keep going, really. All good, really.
Time do you finish today? Have you got
Uh,
more? Keep going on.
yeah, I finish at 8:15 today. So yeah.
Oh gosh, all day
Um,
then.
yeah, Wednesday, Thursday are full days for me basically. The other days I teach, but it's mainly those 2 days that it's literally 8:30 up to 8, that basically back to back teaching with a half-hour break here or there, don't get me
Yeah.
wrong. Yeah.
Well, I needed an extra coffee. It's my third coffee, and I was thinking, God, I need that. I'm sure you do.
No, I'm in Italy, so we drink strong espressos here. So
Oh,
I'm good. I'm good. I've been drugged up. Don't you worry. So I'm not sure if Pap is actually joining us
okay.
because she had issues with her son. Her son was ill actually, so she
Oh,
said she's going to try to join, but she wasn't sure whether she can. So we'll see if she does. I'm not counting on her, but
okay.
if she does, we'll obviously welcome her. She's more than welcome to join. But as you know, these classes are recorded anyway, so she can catch up afterwards. So you're lucky. You're going to get a one-on-one with me today.
Oh, oh.
Oh, the light in your voice there.
Well,
Wow. Okay.
it's now. I'm very much looking forward to it, but I haven't had much time to practice this week, so I'm feeling guilty that I haven't fully got on board.
Shameful. You haven't
Yeah.
practiced. What this about? No, it's okay.
I need
Don't
to
you
be
worry.
trained. I have been driving home though from work, going like, there, and trying to trying to. I think if anyone saw me sort of driving as I'm going, what's she doing? But yeah,
Thinking you're mad, putting all kinds of weird faces at them as well, right?
exactly.
Yeah, well, let me share my screen with you. Bring the call back here. There we go. We'll do a bit of a recap. So obviously I gave you a bit of homework, which is to practice really. So don't worry too much about that. We'll go through some of that now then today as well. We started the lesson really. Is this going to the right slide? One sec. Yes, it is, because I was going to put this in for you. There you go. So we finished last week's lesson with obviously the question, how are you? Right? So we
Hmm.
spoke about this and we spoke about how to say this. And normally this is how I start my lesson, really. I ask you, hoe gaat het met jou? Right? That's the phrase I always teach people. So I think it's not more than right. Obviously, we'll go through this bit anyway, but also then to explain, okay, how do you answer this? How do you answer this question in Dutch, right? So let's read through these. So the first one there says hoe gaat het, which literally means how goes it, right? That's what it is. But that doesn't mean how are you. So I know quite a lot of people will use that, especially foreigners. They use that as,
Hmm.
oh, how are you? Hoe gaat het? But that's actually not saying how are you. So when you use hoe gaat het, it's like how's it going? As in you're doing a job, how's it going? Not in the how's it going that in English it's
Yeah.
used, right? But that's why I think it's often used as a false friend sort of kind of thing. The thing we really say is, hoe gaat het met jou? That's the one that you want to say. Do you want to repeat that?
Is it who like
Hoe.
yeah
Yeah, there you go. Hoe.
who
Welcome
had
to the page. Yeah.
yeah who gaat het met jou?
Jou.
Jou.
Yeah,
Jou.
hoe gaat het met jou? Don't worry too much. We haven't done the vowels yet. We're going to do that today. So don't you worry. We're going to start with that today. Hoe gaat het met jou? Which means, how are you? Now you can see underneath there two other variations as well. Hoe gaat het met u? Now this is still singular, but this is formal. So this is how are you formal. Now in English you don't have formality, but in a lot of languages you do, right? And Dutch has that as well. And underneath that you go hoe gaat het met jullie? That's also still how are you, but it's plural. So generally, because there's two of you in the class, I would use that. Hoe gaat het met jullie? Right? That's the phrase. Now, because it's just you today, I would say hoe gaat het met jou? But do you understand the difference between formality and non-formality? So obviously here you see met jou and met u, but do you know what that, when to use what?
Not exactly, no.
So obviously, it's got to do with being formal. That's what
Mhm.
it's about, really. And when you look at it from a Dutch perspective, it's very much about respect as well. So it's not so much only about formal situation. It's got to do with respect. Who do you respect? Have respect for, and therefore you would use u. Now you find Dutch are quite informal, generally speaking, anyway, because we do. We're very informal generally, and actually, quite quickly, people will say, "Oh, you don't have to say "u," because people feel uncomfortable when they use "u" as well." But there are a lot of situations where you need to use "u" as well. So let me give you a couple of examples. Let's just to test you, see how you get and what you would use, whether you would use "jou" or you would use "u." So let's start. Your mother. What would you do? Would you say met "jou" or met "u"?
Um, I think you'd say the you as like the
In olden days, yes. In olden days, your parents you'd address with "u," right?
mm,
But nowadays, like I said, we've gone quite informal. So that has got that family unit kind of thing. We wouldn't really use "u" there. We
right,
just "jou," right?
yeah.
So "jou." Let's take it a step up then. How about your grandmother?
Again, would you apply the same rules?
No, so
Or
remember it's
my mother
respect.
would be a bit more.
Older age, there's definitely respecting there. Actually, if you would say yow to your grandmother, you get a slap on the back of your head. I can tell you that as a kid, right? It's not. It's met u. That's what you would say, really. U
Mhm.
is the one. Um, how about how about an aunt?
Um, I'm not sure.
Because in English you don't have formality, isn't it? So it's weird, isn't it? So
Yeah,
that's why I'm trying to do this with you to give you a bit of understanding. How do we use this or not, right?
I would assume it would be maybe the same as like the grandmother as in a sort of like an elder person in the family, and then unless they said otherwise, to be like, oh, you don't
Yeah,
do that.
they might be the same age as your mum still, but you're right. There is a formality there, especially when you're younger, anyway, because you don't live with them all the time. They're not your parents. Then yes, you would go ooh. But even once you get older, they will get older as well. So even let's say, generally speaking, I would say once you go past 60, 80, anyone you address with ooh,
Okay.
regardless. Because even I remember when my grandmother was like 86, my mom would even address her mother, my grandmother, with "u" as well, because there's that age respecting as well. Think about
Mm.
elders, right? Think about it in that way. Um, so that's sort of family relations, right? And sure, you got like brothers, sisters. That's all informal, obviously. How about work? How about your boss at work? What do you think you would address that person with?
I would say that's formal and say ooh.
Depends, not really actually. So actually, Dutch hierarchy is very low. There's not a lot of levels in Dutch hierarchy. Well, the levels exist, but the actual difference in that is not compared to English. Let me say it that way, right? Although you don't have formality, you tend to be formal in behavior towards your mouse. In Dutch, it's very informal.
Mm.
Actually, in Dutch communication, generally, it's a lot directer. And actually, as an employee, you're expected to speak up. If you have a different opinion, you are expected to voice that opinion as well. If you got a meeting, you would be expected. If you don't actually voice your opinion, even though it's contrary to what the manager thinks, it would be like, oh, you're not contributing, you're not taking part, basically. So it's that environment, generally speaking. So actually, Yao would be very much used there, really. Maybe the CEO, maybe, but even then, not really, really.
Okay.
How about a client at work?
Client, I would say, would then be the formal, maybe. If it's
Yes,
within your
yeah.
like workplace, you've got that understanding of being co-workers, as you say, it's like the hierarchy is not really as strict. But if you're presenting someone external, I'm
Yep.
thinking like the workplace. If we're doing the household, then it's formal. If it's like grandmother,
Yeah.
slightly outside, I'm taking that in for the workplace.
Yeah, and that works there as well, definitely. Or definitely the first few times you would definitely be formal when you meet a client. I mean, it depends. Do you work with a client once or twice and that's you never see them again? Then it's always going to be, ooh, really? But if you're working with a client for years and years and you build that long rapport, you'll probably find that it goes informal.
Yeah.
So initially it might be formal, but then very quickly it might change over. Or depending on what kind of business it is, if it's like say in retail, a retail shop only, you might very quickly already go informal as well. But if it's a big CEO of a business, you might go ooh, for example. So that's what that. So that's work then basically. So how about a police officer?
Then I would say the formal.
Definitely formal, unless you want to get into trouble. Exactly. How about a doctor?
Formal again.
Yeah, formal again. A nurse?
I would say formal again, but yeah.
Yeah. So generally speaking, in society, if you think in the old and medieval times,
Mm.
right, there were certain roles within society that held a certain status. If you work for the government, the
Mm.
police, justice, right, judges, that kind of people, but also healthcare, basically the doctor, those kind of stuff held a particular status, and that's still very much so. So people who would work in healthcare, who work for the government, police, fire brigade, those kind of people, you would always say. And that's it, really. So, I mean, there's probably more situations, but that's sort of how you would use those two, basically. So,
Okay.
this is how you use how are you, right? Hoe gaat het met jou? That's the one. And then that's what I'll be asking you next week. So, let me teach you the answer, right? So, the answer there really is, met mij gaat het goed. Now, when you look at these two phrases, hoe gaat het met jou? That literally means how goes it with you, right? That's the question when you say how
Mhm.
are you? How goes it with you? So when you answer, you would say, with me goes it good. That's what we say. Word for word literal translation. I'm just giving you that as a context to use. Met mij gaat het goed. And that's the answer I would expect you to say as well. That's the phrase I want you to
Okay.
learn. Because that phrase is very flexible. It may not feel like it right now. You go like, well, that's a complicated phrase to say I'm fine, right? But in Dutch, that's the phrase you use. And you can play around with it because like I said, it's flexible. That good you could replace with all kinds of other words, for example. Just as well as with me, you can change. Because I could ask you,
Mm.
how's your partner? How's your dog? How's your car? How's your work? You can use in all those kind of contexts as well. But instead of jou, you would say, hoe gaat het met jouw werk? How's it going with your work, for example? And then you would say, met mijn werk, or met mijn partner, gaat het goed. So you can play around with that over time. Don't worry too much about that yet, but you can do that. And I'll teach you that further down the line, basically.
My instinct, if you ask me that question, I would say like ik ben goed, thank you. Would that be
Yeah, but when you
very
say that means
formal?
that means you're a good girl.
Okay, I see. I see the difference.
I am good. I can see where you're going
Like
with
well
it.
behaved, almost.
You're well behaved, exactly.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
So no, that doesn't work really. So it's met mij gaat het goed. That's what it is. You could say het gaat goed. You don't have to say met mij. You could say het gaat goed. Is a shorter variation, but go with this one for now. Met mij gaat het goed. Ik ben goed just means like, yeah, I'm a good girl. I'm a good behavior, basically.
Okay, yeah.
So I did put underneath there goed dank je, because that's what a lot of people know, or dank u if you want to go formal. But really, I'm a strict teacher. I would say no, I'm not going to allow you to get away with that. Maybe the one underneath, uitstekend.
Okay.
Uitstekend. And that means outstanding.
Mm,
Yeah?
yeah, I don't think I've come
Well,
across that actually. Clearly, I've never been
outstanding.
outstanding.
Well, it might well be it. I don't know, right? So, some phrases for you to learn, basically, and just they're uitstekend. You want to repeat those and pronounce those as well?
Yeah. So, I was yeah. The IJ, it's
A.
A. Okay. Met met no.
Met mij
Met mij gaat het goed.
There you go. And the last one, that last word, you're like, oh, not seen that word yet.
I can't remember how to say this.
Uitstekend. Uitstekend.
Uitstekend.
Uitstekend. The D is a T. Uitstekend.
Uitstekend.
Uitstekend, which literally means sticking out, basically. That's
Mhm.
literally what we say, right? It's outsticking, literally what we say. But in English, outstanding, that's how you would use that. There you go. Some basic phrases, but obviously last week we didn't have the time to finish that bit. So I thought I'll start that with that. And
Yeah.
next week I'll definitely be asking you, hoe gaat het met jou?
Please do.
Yeah, and now you know the answer, right? Something to learn for next week. So let's go back then. Because obviously the bit what makes this difficult, like with the may, is the vowels, right? And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to look at the vowels and we're going to look at obviously the alphabet. Now we did the alphabet already as well. So you did this last week. That was homework to practice. You want to run through it one more time?
Yes, please. That's
Great. I'll repeat it then for you. So A, remember it's important that you open up wide. A, B, C, D, A, F, teeth on your lip, pushing air through. F,
yeah.
A. I'll pause it there for a bit if you want to repeat that.
Okay. A.
No. A.
Yeah, it's tada, isn't it? A.
Yeah.
A. Say. Day. A. F. No.
Put your teeth on your lip and push air through. That's
F.
what it is, right? We put an air there to give it sound. F.
Yep. F. G.
Much better than last week already. Well done.
Hey.
So before you go, because I haven't done that one yet for yet. So let me run through it one more time for you. So breathe in. This is the sighing one, right? Ah. Ah.
I can't make it loud. That's the thing. And when I try and make it loud, it hits.
You clearly don't have a hard life. That's the problem, right? It's not a hard life. You don't sigh enough. Right?
Clearly not.
That's what it is.
Ah.
Yeah.
Ah.
Ah. Yeah. Air on it.
Ah.
That last one was better already. Ha. There you
Ah.
go.
Yeah.
Ah. So E, Y, K, L, M. These are all pretty straightforward. There's nothing weird about it. E, Y, K, L, M.
E. Oh gosh. E. Y. K. L.
M.
M.
There you go. Easy. Very good. I can hear progress, so that's good. I can see you've done practice. So
I've done bits more so on the first bit of the alphabets then.
So the second row is going to be the difficult one. Okay. Fair enough. Right. Let's do the second one now. Again, I'll do half of it. So N, you roll your tongue up to your the roof of your mouth, and it's nasal. N,
N.
O,
O. No.
O, rounded. O. It's got like a W there. O, there you go. Hey, P, bit more P behind it, right? Pay.
K.
Who.
Who.
Not ooh, you're here.
Yeah.
Ooh, it's in the front, right? Ooh.
Ooh.
Ooh, you're doing the mouth now, but you're still keeping it there.
Okay.
Remember fingers? Ooh, do that. Ooh.
Ooh.
Still
Ooh.
here.
Very.
Ooh, it's in the front, right? I knew. Make it posh new.
Ooh. Ooh.
No. So I knew in English, I knew, but
I
make it
knew.
posh. But make it posh.
I knew.
I knew.
I
Ooh.
knew. Ooh.
Now take the N off. Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah. Ooh. But there's a W there as well. Ooh.
Ooh.
Ooh. So I knew. Ooh. That's the bit. Coo. And then you just put a K in front of it. Coo.
Ooh.
And you go ooh again. So you were doing it with ooh, right?
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, ooh, this is it. Remember it because you're going to need it soon enough for another vowel. But
Hmm.
I knew, make it posh, right? Ooh, ooh.
Ooh, I knew.
There you
Ooh,
go. Ooh, but make it a posh one.
coo, ooh,
There you
ooh,
go. Coo. There you go. You've done it.
coo,
Coo.
coo, new.
Coo. Can you
Ooh.
feel that it's all in the front? I
Kind of,
knew.
yeah. It's but
But it's all here, isn't it? It's not
yeah,
here.
it is, and I was struggling to try and move it to the front, if that
Mm.
makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But I knew, but especially if you're thinking,
Ooh.
I mean, it's a shame Pav's not here. She's from Cambridge, right? So she's in the
Mm.
posh area. So I knew, right? So the problem is you live in Nottingham. That's probably why, isn't it?
We'll blame on that.
Exactly. So yeah, there you go. Right, the next one, the R, which actually you were okay with last week, really. So what's the R in Dutch?
So it's where, air, sort of air,
R, R. We need to make the R much louder, right?
air,
R.
air,
There you
air.
go. R. Yeah, and you do that vibrating your tongue. Perfectly fine. I'll happily do that. R. Next ones are easy. S, T, U. We obviously now know K on it. U.
Yep.
And we'll do those first. Now we'll do the last bit in a bit. Do those first.
S, T, ooh.
Ooh.
It's more like
Ooh. I knew. You need to think posh. That's
yeah.
the way to think about it. Ooh.
New.
Yeah, I
Ooh.
knew. Yeah, I
Ooh.
knew. Ooh.
Ooh.
There you go. The next one, the V and the W. Is my screen, by the way, not moving over to? Is it still
Oh,
showing
it's
you
still
the
on.
speaking?
Yeah.
Why is that not changing? I just noticed it
Oh,
myself
there we go.
because my screen has. Oh, it has done it
Yeah,
now. There you
it's done
go.
it now. There we
How
go.
odd. I was just looking at you and I was like, because I've got two screens, so I was looking at that screen and I was
Uh,
like, "Oh, and it still shows you there. Okay, there you go. So yeah, the V and the W then. What's the difference? Do you remember?
um, so the V is a bit more, is it like teeth V? And
They, air, there's air, exactly. Yeah.
then way is a bit more
Way. Yeah.
open mouth as V is the sort of V.
There you go. Yeah, exactly that. Vey. That's exactly it. Fey, you can hear air. Fey.
Yeah.
You need to listen for air.
V.
The hasn't got any air. The. So yeah, vey. And the last ones are easy. X,
X.
A. This is the smiley vowel.
Yeah.
A. A.
A
Yeah, A. And Z.
Z.
There you go. And that was these letters basically. Now the Y, we do call them Griekse I as well. Lovely word there. Griekse I, a Greek Y. Because think about it, in a lot of languages we call it an Y as well.
Mm.
So that's where it comes from basically. There you go. Right, let's do that exercise then, because I gave you a bit of homework there, right? To
Mhm.
practice this exercise. So, hoe spel je jouw voornaam?
M E A.
There you go. Nice, easy, and short. You're lucky there. How
Yeah.
about your surname?
Um. O O U T R. The R is really hard to do.
R, R,
Where R. Yeah. R A M. Almost.
that's the
Let's
one.
do it
Is this
again.
this is the one, right? Outrem. Outrem,
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Because
It's
again, that's not a very common Dutch name. So you
no.
being able to spell that is probably quite useful.
Yes, I'm sure it will be. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got
Outrem.
the O's and the R's though that I'm difficult doing.
Yeah. Well, the O you're fine with. I don't think you got an issue with the O. It's the R. But even there, I'm not worried about it because you can do an R. You
R.
just need to remember that's an E there. R.
R.
All right. How about this one then? How about your plaatsnaam?
So this bit I didn't manage to fully write down, but I can
You could do
do
it on the spot,
yes.
right?
Um I don't know if I should try and do Nottingham or if I do the easier one and do Bunny.
It's up to, well, look, do Nottingham. I never go for easy. Come on.
So it'd be the N tongue at the top. So
N. Yeah, N.
N,
There you go. N.
N, U,
O.
O, O, N, O, K, T, E, N, K,
Yeah.
H,
Yeah.
A, M.
There you go. Easy. Now you saying bunny is easy, but there's a U in there, so actually for you that's a more
Oh.
difficult one.
Yes.
How about you do that one as well then? Go on then. Do the easy one as you said.
Oh, yeah. Bay, U,
Not ooh. U.
U.
There you go.
So Bay, U, N, N, I,
A. Yeah, smile. A.
I,
A. There you
I.
go.
Yeah.
Very good. How about straatnaam?
Oh, it's a long one as well.
Good. Good. Practice
Oh,
makes perfect, right?
this is not that. Yeah. Trying to think even how you would spell it.
Write it down first. That's normally the easiest.
Okay. So then the dyslexia comes in. I can't do it in English. Okay. So L, U, 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 G, G, B, O, U, where
R.
R, R, U, U, G, G. And that's, yeah. Trying to say Loughborough.
I was thinking Loughborough. Yeah, I can understand
Yeah.
what you're trying
And
to say.
there's so many O's and U's in it that I'm just
Yeah, I know. So
just
O is the round one. That's an easy one, right? O. There's nothing difficult about it. Just the thing you have to keep in mind is the W is a lot more pronounced compared to
O.
English, right? It's like an English O. You would say O as well, right? But a little bit more stretched. O. And there's a W. The W is much more pronounced. So that's your O, right?
Yeah.
So that's actually quite. So it'll be L O U
L, O.
A A. So again, I didn't hear. I heard two G's there. I didn't even hear the H's different there.
Okay.
G A B O R O U A H. So you got a lovely number of letters there. Right. Let's reverse it. If you open the chat, do you know where the chat is in here?
Yeah.
Great. If you open that,
Mhm.
I'm going to spell something for you and would like you to write it out.
Okay.
Like you, I'm typing it out, makes it easier to say anyway. So B
Yeah.
N O U V A R A
Yeah.
A, V, A, N.
I don't think I missed. I think I got confused with maybe an I and an A, or an
Yeah,
E
look at
and an
it.
I.
This is what I said.
Okay, so I got the W and V wrong.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then obviously the A, the E, because this is about false friend and how you spell anyway. So obviously this is the other way around, right? You listening to sound, recognizing sound, translating it into a letter.
Mhm.
But don't you worry, we'll get there. You'll do one more?
Yeah. Yeah.
Z,
Yep.
U, E,
Yeah.
D, D, E, J, A, S, T, R, A, A, T. You're looking mightily confused.
Mm, that's
Mm, takes practice.
it's the bits that are similar, the E's and the I's and the A's.
Obviously, this bit you haven't done yet, right? I'm making you do this now, but you have been learning, letters to sounds, let
Mm,
alone the sounds back, right? Now, you've got a Dutch partner. Do this together.
I might do. Yeah.
And you go like, well, actually, give me a Dutch word, spell it out to me. Or the other way around, that they give
Mm,
you a word and then you know, spell
yeah.
that out as well.
Good.
You can
Yeah.
practice it together. That's the beauty because you actually have someone to do it with, right?
That'll be good. Yeah.
So yeah, keep that in mind. It's
Mm,
they're a resource for you, right? You're doing it for them, so they
mhm.
should get something back as well, right?
Yeah, we were doing it in the car the other day. It's hard to. So yeah, I think this might be a good exercise to try and do.
Yeah, the other thing I think you have to overcome for yourself anyway is feel that embarrassment. Because that's the other thing you're probably still at this stage where you're like, it's so new that you started
Mm,
this that when you do it, and this is often, I mean, say with my husband, he's Italian, so he's been learning Dutch for a while as well. And obviously, I help him and guide him along the way, but actually, I don't teach him. That's because teaching partners is never a good thing, really. It works to some degree. I mean, I used to teach him, but then we had a friend join in as well, just to make it more into a group class, and it became different. So I get that, right? You feel that embarrassment, but yeah, you'll overcome that, right? That was spelling. So let's have a look then at something new.
mhm.
The vowel alphabet. So
Yes.
in Dutch, we have a vowel alphabet. And actually, in Dutch, we have 30 different vowels. More actually letters than there are in the alphabet, right? So, and these are these vowels. Now, you're lucky is the word. There's only 22 unique sounds,
Okay.
right? Now, when I say that, I don't just mean, oh, A, E, I, O, and combinations of that, and we put that together. So yes, we have the basic vowels, right? We have an A, an E, an I, and only U. Now, on purpose, there's no Y there because the Y does not exist in Dutch. We don't have it. So we have it because we've taken on foreign words, but actually we don't have it in the alphabet. It's not one of our vowels as such, really. But what we do as well is with those basic vowels, there's lots of different variations in how we pronounce that. And then also we got something called a vowel combination. And we call these combinations, but these are basically new sounds that we associate with a link, basically. Now, like I said, there's 22 vowel sounds, 30 vowels, right? And that means that some vowels are written differently, but are pronounced the same, basically, right? Now, the same notion as well. Some vowels are written the same way, but pronounced differently as well. So it works both ways basically, because those 5 basic vowels, they're written as a single letter, but they can be pronounced in 2 or 3 ways basically. So that is what it's about. Now, don't worry so much at this stage. How do I know whether that A is going to be long or short or whatever it's going to be? Don't worry about that. I'll teach you that. Don't worry. But it's more about learning the sounds. That's what we're going to do today. So the basic vowels can be pronounced in 2 ways. We say this either the long vowel pronunciation or the short vowel pronunciation, right? Now, the long vowels, because they're the same ones as the alphabet. But when you were spelling those, that's the long vowel pronunciation.
Okay.
And see, I said to you quite often, it's like, oh, stretch them out a little bit, right? That's also why we call that long. They're more stretched out, basically. But also they're outward sounds, basically, right? Now, the short vowels are the opposite. They're inward sounds, basically. So, and they often have like a sort of H ending to it. Air is always involved with this as well, I'm afraid, right? And that's the difference between those two. But we call that long and short, basically. Now, I'll show you what they sound like. So we'll start with the letter A. So how do you pronounce the long A again?
Ah.
Ah, right? What's important there is that you open up. Ah, right? That's what it is. Now, in Dutch, when you see the double A letter there as well, it's exactly the same pronunciation. It's also ah. But when you have a single one, it can also be short. And this one is inward sound, right? There's always a bit of air escaping, but what's the main thing you need to do is that you need to push your tongue down. Ah, ah. And look what I'm doing. Ah, I push my tongue down. Ah.
Ah.
There you go. And that's the sound you need. So you got ah, ah.
Ah. Is it like OR, kind of, almost, or like
Ah,
car?
it's nearly the R is just there for the car. Ah, it's sort of got the ah on there. That's why ah. But you need to push your tongue down. Ah, ah.
Ah.
And when you do that, automatically air is going to escape anyway. Ah, because it's a little bit like there's a H nearly there, really.
Ah. I feel like this, all of the pronunciation, I'm kind of doing hand movements along with them to try and like drag the
That's
air
fine.
down.
If that helps you do it, then why
May
not?
end up being a very like hands movie Dutch speaker.
That's all right. There's nothing wrong with that, right? Right. The next one's the eyes then. So what was a long I?
I is it's more of like the E.
It is the E. Yeah,
Spelling
it's E. But look what I'm doing. E. I'm pushing out the corners of my mouth. E. And again, it's stretched out a little bit like baby. Obviously, the example I gave, but E. But also just word like tree. Tree, right? It's exactly the same. E. But stretched out.
Yeah.
Now, when you see an IE, that's also pronounced exactly the same way. So the IE in Dutch is also an E. Now, the short version is the same like the A, but obviously a different start. I. And look what I'm doing, pushing my tongue down. Not E. Like it.
I.
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 There you go. But push your tongue down. I. There you go. And when you did that, do you hear? There's nearly like a little bit of like air escaping when you do that. The O then. What was the long O? I know you found that one tricky.
Long O is like
Oh. Make it a bit more rounded, right? Oh. Like oak is actually quite a good example of that.
Did your I don't know if this makes sense, but does your mouth, when you're saying like O, sort of start bigger than sort of come in? So like
well, look what I'm doing. Quite rounded in a way, really.
Okay.
But it doesn't go wide, but there you go. But it's important that you got that W on there. That's the main thing, because it gives it its roundness.
Okay.
Double O, exactly the same thing. So when you see double O, it's still the same thing. And then the short one, oh. And look what I'm doing again here. Round lips.
Oh.
There you go. And now obviously your tongue down again as well. The U, your favorite one?
Ooh.
No, you got down
Ooh.
there again. I knew, make it posh. Ooh,
A
ooh,
new.
ooh,
Ooh.
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 You're higher up, you're here, but you're not there yet.
Ooh.
I knew, make it posh.
Ooh. Ooh.
There you go.
Ooh.
Ooh, ooh. That's what you need, right?
Okay.
Ooh. Now,
Ooh.
with
Ooh.
all of this, keep in mind, obviously, I'm taking the sounds out of context. Once they're in words, it becomes easier. But if you can do this, you'll be able to do it in words as well. Now, W is exactly the same thing. And then we got a short U as well. And this is an uh, uh. Look again, push your
Uh.
tongue down,
Uh.
like when you're thinking out loud, right? That kind of
Uh.
way.
Uh.
There you
Uh.
go.
Uh.
There you go.
Uh.
And then the E. I did skip that on purpose because with the E, there's a multiple versions basically. So what's the long E?
A. A.
Exactly, right. Double E is exactly the same. A. But then after that, you got the short, which is an eh, eh.
Eh.
But with the letter E, we have a third version, and we call this a stupid E.
Okay.
And this is actually what Dutch people call this as well. I did not make this up. Call this a stupid E. And I think it goes back to the fact that it's got the same sound as the short U. And I think the stereotype is, well, what do stupid people say all the time? Right? It's a bit of a stereotype, but that's where it comes from. And I think that's how we got to that name, basically, stupid E,
Mm-hmm.
which is the same as the U, basically. The
Uh.
There you go. And that is the first couple of letters.
Okay.
I know there's a lot of information. You're probably going, oh my God, how am I remember all this stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's do a quick recap on that. So you want to do long and short for the A's?
Yeah. Ah. 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 Ah.
Ah,
Ah.
push your tongue down. Ah,
Ah.
there you go.
Ah. Yeah.
The E's?
E. E. E.
Eh. Again, push your tongue down. Eh.
E. E. E.
There you go. The O's?
Ooh.
No,
Ooh.
not this. No, that's the U. This
Ooh.
is O. O.
Oh. That's it. Yeah. Coming in. O. O. Ooh. Ooh.
O. O.
Oh.
Round your
Okay.
lips. O.
Oh.
There you
Oh.
go. This is the one.
Okay. Ooh. Ooh.
Perfect.
Ooh.
Uh,
That's right.
uh.
I find the short ones very difficult. They're not similar to the long. It's
No,
yeah.
that's the point because they're similar. They're not similar, right? There you go. But yeah.
Ooh.
Uh,
Ugh.
uh.
Ugh.
Push your tongue down.
Uh.
Uh,
Uh.
uh. There you
Uh.
go. Uh.
Uh.
And then with the letter E.
A. A. Ugh.
Eh. Eh.
Eh.
Eh.
Eh. Eh. Eh.
And
It's not right.
it's yeah. There you go. There you
Uh.
go. And that's your basic vowels. Pretty much you've done 11 sounds. We're halfway there. Like I said, we did 22 sounds, right?
Yep.
There you go. So let's have a look at the combination of vowels then. So the AAI, that's the first one we start with. So the AA, what was the AA again?
A. Ah.
Ah, very
Ah.
good. Now, what the J represents behind the I represents there is like a J sound or a Y sound there. So it would become I.
I.
I. There you go.
I.
Very good. I. Literally like an I, right? But a bit more stretched out. What do you say when you pinch yourself?
Ooh.
No, no. What do you say for you? If I were to pinch you now, what would you say?
Ouch.
Ouch. Ow. Ow. Oh, you say ouch. You got posh. Ouch. Okay. Ow. Right with a W. Ow.
Ow.
I don't hear often a
Ow.
lot of people. I always ask this question to everyone, but they never say. Very rarely they say ouch. Actually. Ow. Ow. Right. There you go.
Ow.
And that's the vowel as well. Ow.
Ow.
And it's got that W bit there as well. Ow. Basically. So yeah. I suppose wow or out. Right. That is. There you go. Then the double O. How do you pronounce the double O?
Um. O. O.
Oh, oh, exactly. Now, what you hear there, you hear a W at the end, right? Oh. Now, actually, what we do with this vowel, we already know the I represents that J sound or the Y sound, right? So we replace that W with the there and becomes oi.
Oi.
Easy. You're from Nottingham. Oi, right? There you go. Oi. Now, the next one's going to be really easy for you because this is the sound you keep making when you think about the ooh. Right? This is the ooh, the monkey,
Ooh.
basically. Ooh,
Ooh.
which obviously comes from here. Ooh.
Yep. Ooh.
And then we have another one there with with an I behind it. Oei.
Oi.
Oei. Make it a bit more rounded down. Oei.
Oi.
Yeah. Very good.
Oi.
And then the last one, ow. This is exactly the same as the one above the AU. It's just written differently. Ow.
Ow.
There you go. You want to repeat those?
Okay. I. Ow. Oi. Ooh.
Ooh. Now you're going ooh, where it is ooh.
Ooh. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah.
Oei. Yeah.
Oi. Oi.
Not oi. Ooh. It's still the ooh start, right? Because oi is the first one. That's the OOI. Oi. Ooh. Oei.
Ooh. Ooh.
Oei. Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah. And then ow.
Ow. Yeah. There you go. The E's. Let's have a look at the E's. So, how do you pronounce an double E?
Um. E. No.
A.
A. A. That's
A.
I did
There
the
you
open
go.
mouth, but the wrong.
A, right?
A.
A. That's the one. A. Now, that ends with like a Y or a J sound. And here we actually do the opposite. We replace that with a W. So it becomes ew.
A.
Perfect. Ew. Now I'm going to skip the first one. I'm going to go to the the IEU there because it's the same principle. What is an IE? It's the E, right? You know that already. But we added W there. Ew.
Ew.
So you got ew, ew.
E. Ew. No.
Ew is the bottom one, right? Ew.
Ew.
And then you got ew.
A. Yeah. Hold on. Ao. Ao. What way would you go it? Would you do like if you were saying them?
Yeah. So
Would
well,
you go
obviously it's about the word in context where you're going to need them, right? It doesn't matter. So the first one, the A, obviously the J is replaced with a W, right? Ew. That's what it becomes. Ew. But it's nearly like a sort of going up and that. Ew.
up
So
and
it's
down
it's
almost?
up and down kind of. In
A.
EU is the same. EU, maybe not as much up, but then it goes down. EU. So yeah.
Ew.
EU. EU.
Ao. Ew.
There you go.
Okay. Ao. Ew.
Perfect. Right.
Okay.
It takes practice, don't you worry. It's going to take. I'm not expecting you next week. It'll be lovely if you knew them all next week, but it's going to take time. That's the realistic answer as well. Generally speaking, even after months, you're still making some mistakes here or there. It's normal. All my students do it. It takes time because it's so alien to you, nearly. Right. So the next one, then, I call this the posh vowel, and this is an O. O.
O.
Not O. O. Make it posh.
O.
There you go. Oh,
I feel like I have to do the shoulder thing when I'm doing the pop.
oh, yes.
O. It's
Very
just gonna
good.
come out.
There you go. So the EI then. The EI and the IJ, they're pronounced both the same way, basically. How did you spell the letter Y?
They way. No.
A. You need to push the corners up, right?
A.
A,
A.
A. And that's the sound here, A. Now, this can either be written as an EI, an IJ, and the Y doesn't really exist, so don't worry about that. But when we spell it, we say it that way, A. Because actually, like I said, the Y does not exist in Dutch, and that's because the IJ is our equivalent. So where we would use the IJ as the replacement for that vowel, basically. That's our version. But both mean the same. Do you know what an EI is as well? Have you come across that word by any chance?
Probably, but I can't think of any words that.
It's literally that vowel A like that is an egg.
Okay.
An A. So if you like an egg for breakfast, for example, an A. Good word to know.
A. Is there not EI though?
No, EI is sorry. EI, yes, that's the one on the screen, right? EI. But IE. IE is E.
E. Yeah.
I is A.
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 A. Yeah. And that's the vowel.
Mhm.
Now, the EAU is the last one there. The EAU is a French vowel. We just pronounce it as a long O. O.
Oh.
Netherlands used to be part of France for a little while, so that's how we got that from. O.
Oh.
And that's it. Now, the Y, like I said, it doesn't exist in Dutch. We do have it, and that's from foreign words. And we always follow the foreign pronunciation, which tends to be either a short I or a long I, basically. So some examples, for example, it's not an English word, but gym, right? Gym. It comes from gymnasium, obviously. That's where it comes from Latin. We would say gym. So in that case, you can hear it, obviously the I. It's a short I that we use there. Gymnasium would be the same. Gym, we would use that. Obviously, you put a proper G on it. Don't get me wrong, right? But then we have words like lyceum. This is like a school, like a high-level secondary school. And that would be an E. So whatever the word is, we follow the pronunciation of the original word because the Y is only going to be used in foreign words.
Right.
So if you see in Dutch a Y, it means it's a foreign words that we've assimilated, and therefore that Y would follow that pronunciation. Obviously, for you, where you don't know that potentially, it's just a matter of learning the words, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But luckily, you're not going to come across that very often, I can tell you that. And then one last vowel. And I put this on the slide by itself. There is nothing. This is the one that is the furthest removed from English. And after 12 years of teaching, I am yet to find a sound in English that actually is similar to it. It does not exist, I can tell you that. So I've gone different ways on how to describe this. I've used the howling wolf sound, as you can see on there a little bit. Yeah, so it's an ow, ow. That's the sound. Ow.
Ow. Ow.
Not ow. That's when you pinch yourself. Ow. 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 So what you do is you open up and then you push your jaw forward in a sound basically. So ow. It's quite a rounded sound. Ow. It helps to look up. That's why I got with howling basically. Ow.
Ow.
No, you didn't. Ow. Ow. You're here. Ow. Again, it's in the front. Ow.
Ow.
Oh yeah.
Ow.
There you go. Ow.
Ow.
There you go. An ow. It's a funny one, isn't it?
Yes.
Funny enough, I was actually because I'm from New Zealand and Netherlands, and we were staying there, and we were saying, "Oh, seal sound." There's another one, if you know what a seal sounds like, where ow, 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 like
Yeah.
that kind of like a thing, right? It's got that sound to it. There's nothing like it in English, unfortunately. But it's one of those you have to learn, and it's quite a common vowel as well, unfortunately. In itself, it also has a meaning. Ow.
Ow.
It's an onion.
Okay.
There you go. Ow.
Ow. No, it's coming from down there.
There you go.
Ow.
Ow, ow, ow is rounded. Ow. Now, obviously, all this is done. And again, what I'll do is I've recorded all these as well for you, by the way, to help you. So there's again, I'll put the audio file in the WhatsApp for you. It's on your server as well, it's on the drive as well for you. But I find it easier on the phone. At least a lot of people tend to find that easier.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be practice. So remember how to say, how are you? And I'm fine for next week, because that's what we're going to start with, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Next week, we're going to recap this again. This is going to be tricky. And obviously, Pavel will probably have to go through this as well for her benefit, because this is not that easy. We'll do a bit of recap with that, which I think both of you will probably need anyway. And then we'll carry on, round up this topic. There's a bit about other pronunciations, finish that off. And then, yeah, there's a whole bunch of other phrases we're going to go through as well.
Okay, wonderful.
Hopefully you found that useful.
Yeah, no, it has been. I had a little, like I'd asked my partner's family about this as well, because I was doing stuff before the lessons. They're all changing, and yeah, we go. Well, we've been over to Belgium quite a few for Easter, and so it's in, when I say like zalig, I don't know, is that different in
Zalig. No, we use zalig as well.
in Netherlands? And then like Pasen? Would that be the
Yeah,
same, like
it's
the
exactly
same?
the same.
And then
There aren't that many differences. Yes, there are particular words that are different, but between Flemish and Dutch, it's really like English and Scottish. That's the way to think about it. So yeah, as we Dutch people say, they sound a bit funny. That's what we say, basically, right? But a lot of words are different, similar. Funny enough, I'm in Italy now, actually, but we drove through Belgium on the way, obviously, there, because we drive it, and obviously I put Belgian TV, radio on, and they were talking about suitcase, because there was something about suitcases, and they used the word valise.
Valise.
But we say koffer. So that's an example where they have a different word for it, but you're talking maybe 5% of the words are slightly different. So it's not that big a deal. So yeah, don't worry about it.
No, and I like to say Ruben's grandmother speaks in quite a harsh dialect, which I think just turns back into basically German. So it's like it turns basically into German or Netherlands. So it's yeah.
So funny enough, your favorite vowel is also in his name, Ruben.
Ruben. Oh, I'll have to say any other name. I'll just keep trying.
It's got the R in there for you. So Ruben.
Yeah.
And then there's a stupid E at the end there. Ruben. There you go.
Wonderful.
There you
Okay.
go.
Brilliant. And we'll be ready for next week to tell you how I am.
There you go. See you next week.
Thank you very much. See ya. Bye.